And it shall come to pass in the last days, saith God, I will pour out my Spirit upon all flesh. Your sons and your daughters shall prophesy, and your young men shall see visions.
Okay. The tribal future. In the distant future, when I had this vision, nobody could see me. So nobody could see me. I didn't speak to anyone. I just saw everything and walked alongside of people and kind of followed people around. In this tribal future, it was a series of islands, and everything was really tropical. And on these islands lived this tribe of people. I didn't see anybody old, and everybody looked pretty healthy and everything. They wore little clothing because the atmosphere was like warm. It was a warm atmosphere and environment, and everybody was like tan-looking people, brown in complexion. I didn't see any white people at all amongst the tribal people. Most was like tan, but most looked like they was mixed, like everybody just blended down into one race or something, and they was really friendly. What they ate, they got from the ground and from what grew around them, I do believe. They were really like children. They had no writing system, no type of government. They lived out in the bush. And like I said before, they wore little clothing. They traveled from island to island. It was one tribe that dominated this little island system, maybe of 7, 8, 9 islands. Well, it was just one tribe of people that would just go from island to island. And they got from island to island. This is super crazy right here. On some water slides. Yeah, it was these water slides, bright yellow. They looked like they were soft and kind of jelly looking. And water just ran through these slides continuously. I don't know what they was made out of or how they got their hands on that type of material to make those things. But like I said, I don't know what they was made out of in the first place, but it was super odd. It was really odd. Yeah, these tribal people seem to have only one fear, and that was going out into the big water, where like the ocean started. Because between the islands, there was like some parts, sections between islands, the water was so shallow you can just walk right across to the next island. It was a strange setup. But once you go so far off the islands, it was deep waters. And they was really afraid of going to that water. Come to find out, it was monsters in that water. Yeah, I was shown a giant monster jump out of that water and eat a man. A few guys from the tribal group had gliders made out of I don't know what, but they was made by them. And they had gliders that they would jump off top of trees, maybe, I don't know. And they would glide from one island to the next. The ones that was across deeper waters. But the little islands that was very close by, they all had this yellow slide. But found out the reason they was afraid of the waters is I was shown one time one of them guys glide from one island to the next, and he was gliding. He got pretty high. I'm talking about he got a good 50, 100 feet off the ground maybe. And he was gliding and stuff, and he had caught the wind. And I saw a fish jump out of that water. And this fish was huge. It was the size of maybe a whale. But it wasn't built like a whale. It was built like a catfish or something. Maybe a piranha, something weird. And it had arms like a man that was muscle built. And then it had teeth and a big old face with big old mouth. And these crazy monster looking teeth. Yeah, and it just jumped up and just snatched this dude right out of the air. It was crazy. Now at the same time, there was some men living under the ground, and they were from these times, and they knew everything that took place and transpired. Whereas the tribal people were like children. They didn't know about the past, and they didn't know what was going on at all. They were just living. Now that's to my knowledge. Now these men under the ground, they were not really human anymore. They had did all kind of stuff to themselves, like scientifically altered themselves to where they were not able to multiply or do anything to live on further. They had created all the wicked things that we see today. And those monsters in the water, they created those, I do believe, during these times. Those monsters are going to live in the waters for a good 50 to 100 years, and then they're going to die. And they're going to conk out and die, whatever they made out of, and they're going to be gone. Those men under the earth, underground, they're going to die down there. They're going to somehow not be able to multiply or something, where they just genetically going to just give in. And that underground is going to be their tomb. And I remember it was just only a handful of them guys left, maybe 15 people. It was one time I saw some guys in all dark blue with like ninja masks on, driving these fishing boat type floating devices. They look more high tech, carrying some glowing green material, liquids in cases. And they had guns, and they was doing this in the middle of the night. And I believe that was something evil that they had, something that was not good. Well, all in all, those guys underground end up dying off in time. I don't know. I do believe that somebody in Hollywood knows something, because the movie Time Machine really reminds me of some of my visions.